Hi everyone, and welcome to Ruth Reacts to Books. I'm your host, Ruxie Ruth McGouth, and this is Season 2, Episode 28. And today I am reacting to The Age of Myth by Michael Sullivan. And I am so excited to tell you about this book because I gave it 5 stars and I think I have found a new favorite author. So I'm very excited to tell you all about him, and I've already told some of you about him. Because I just couldn't contain myself as I was waiting for this episode to come out and to record this episode. So I'm going to read the back of the book. I'll tell you what I liked, what I didn't like. I'll tell you about the food that I've shared as I've related to this book, and about my nails and why I picked them out. All right. Since time immemorial, humans have worshipped the gods they call Frey. Truly a race apart, invincible in battle, masters of magic, and seemingly immortal. But when a god falls to a human blade, the balance of power between humans and those they thought were gods changes forever. Now, only a few stand between humankind and annihilation. Wraith, reluctant to embrace his destiny as the god killer. Suri, a young seer burdened by signs of impending doom. And Persephone, who must overcome personal tragedy to lead her people. The age of myth is over. The time of rebellion has begun. So, obviously I really loved the book. I gave it 5 stars, and I truly think like this guy is going to be on my list of top 5 favorite authors. I don't know who he's bumping out of their position, but somebody. And very interestingly, like at the beginning of the book, there was like a note from the author, and he said that he writes his series all at once, and he tells aspiring authors that he does not recommend doing that, but that's how he does it, so that he makes sure that everything aligns all together and that there's never anything that like in a later book wouldn't make sense, because he makes sure that he writes them all at once. So, and he said also that way he could never accidentally die and a book wouldn't come out. So I appreciated that. So this is in a series of books, and he said there's also another series that comes later that is much later in the same world, that they refer to this time period and they have it wrong, and that's why it's called The Age of Myth, because the later series, they think they know what the past is like, but they don't, and they have it incorrect, just how like they have the wrong stories down, and they don't understand how victors write the history or whatever it is, you know, so they have the history incorrectly written in their history books. So what did I like about this story? Well, it had very engaging characters. They talked about 3 of them on the back. So we've got the god killer, and we have the seer, and then we have our main protagonist, Persephone, who's amazing. So they've got kind of characters, and they've got many more, but those are kind of 3 of the main ones, and they're very engaging. I love that they had a balance. They have male and female characters, and Persephone and Suri are both female characters, so like some of the main characters are strong females, especially Persephone, who kind of is the main person in this book, actually, even though it kind of sounds like it might be Wraith, but it's actually Persephone. She's the main person that's leading everything in this book, and she is so cool. Kind of like definitely would aspire to be like her. She is so strong, and it's really awesome to see like the things that she does. There's multiple layers of kind of the storyline that's definitely going on in this story. The characters are working through how to handle multiple different things that are going on, and they're trying to figure out multiple issues that are happening. And so that's great, I think, in a story when they've got, because that's more realistic to life. Like, we're not always dealing with just one issue at a time, right? That's not how life works. And so there's definitely layers that are happening. And I thought they did a great job of world building, because this is for the first time that we're meeting this world, and so we have to get to know, how does it work? How does Frey work and all that stuff? And I just thought that it was kind of adorable. So this is way back in the past in this world. So for example, like during this book, like somebody invents the pocket, and it's like so cute. So loved it. Only thing I didn't like, I mean, I didn't really not like anything. Obviously gave it 5 stars, but like there was, during the book, they're with the people that they talked about in the back of the book. And then sometimes they're also with these invincible Frey people. And at the beginning, when they were with some of the Frey people, I found them like slightly boring, but later some of the fray meet up with these people, and like I thought it got a lot better when that was the case. So all in all, loved the book. Absolutely will be adding the second. I read this for my book club, so my friend Heather recommended it to me, and it was a great choice. So I will definitely be adding this to my list of 25 books that I read, like over, I read one and then I add it to my next list of 25. So this is going on the list as a series that I will be continuing to read, and I'm so glad we read it for book club. Thanks, Heather. It was a great choice. For the food, I picked out grilled veggies and then a fire roasted ratatouille because I wanted to go with like foods that they could have eaten, because they obviously don't have ovens or like things that we currently have, but they have fires, and they have, they could probably, I don't remember if they have pans or not, but anyway, the fire roasted ratatouille certainly is on like a cast iron skillet, so you could make that. And I think in the blog that I have linked, you could do it in a fire roasted oven, or you could do it outside on like a campfire. So I know that's how Casey and I have done some fire roasted ratatouille before when we've gone camping. And then grilled veggies, you could do that on a grill. You could do that on a fire too. So take a look at those. If you make them, definitely leave me a comment. Tell me how they were. Got 2 different blogs there that we've linked. And then for my nails this week, for the Age of Myth. So in this book, there on the cover, you can see like this big tree that's there. So trees and nature were like a big, big part of the story. It came in many, many times. And so I am wearing this kind of metallic green, and it's called Olive Branch. And then over the top, I have like, you can't really see it that well in this. I have like a clear coat that has kind of little silver sparkles to kind of represent the fray. On top of it. So Olive Branch, and then over the top I have a clear thing that's called Crystal Calm, to represent the fray and the magic that we have in the book. So I'm excited to wear these nails this week. I just got the metallic green, and I thought it would go nicely with kind of the theme of trees and magic that we get in this book. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye.